let's have a little conversation here about Ryan Poles, Mr. Character. We bring in people with good character. When it comes to football character, there have been 2 high-profile moves that have been made.
Chase Claypool, I think, will still go down as the worst move.
No, this one's the worst move because of how much money you spent.
I think actually Matt Eberflus might go down as the worst move.
That's actually a great point.
So I think those are your top 3, but Chase Claypool is horrendous. Look, there's a lot of money here, but the draft pick they gave up for Chase Claypool, that's an incredible draft pick that could have been used for any number of things. You might not have needed to sign Nate Davis because you could have gotten a center and then just had Ryan Bates to play guard or wherever that would have played out.
Here's why the Nate Davis move is worse. With Chase Claypool, you're looking at that guy from afar. You can't have conversations with him because he's on another team. You can't figure out if he fits your team until he gets to your team. You went and ran to sign Nate Davis. You had all the intel and the personal intel of him being with you before you make a decision to give him a 3-year deal.
Unbelievable.
And then you sign him and you find out he's not interested in practice. He's not interested in playing. He at the time of need most. There's never been a time where Nate Davis could have resurrected his career with the Bears than last Sunday, and he gave you back spasms.
We did a segment on Monday talking about Nate Davis as one of the worst teammates we have seen in this town, in any sport. Because what happened Sunday, he left you a man down.
Yep.
In a must-win game at home.
You could have gone another way. You could have, had you known, and that's why I'm glad that they made this move this week, and you end up elevating Curran, and then you bring another guy onto the practice squad. Him giving you my back, I need a backiotomy. Mm-hmm. Him doing that to you before the game starts, you had no options.
You had 7 active offensive linemen instead of 8, and then you had to get down there, and Doug Kramer was obliterated in the middle of that offensive line. Just a horrendous stuff. And now cut right here.
You saw Andre the Trainer.
And Andre the Giant. He saw both of them.
Anybody want a Band-Aid?
and here's the thing. We all know guys that, let's say, maybe their back was a little tight. We all know guys that have played for this team that maybe their back was a little tight. Coach, I'm going to give you everything I got.
Of course.
I'm going to give you everything I got.
Lawrence, we heard
I'm fine.
That Nate Davis was, quote, a 100%er, unquote, in Tennessee.
Yes.
That was the reputation before he signed here, that he was a guy who had to be 100% to even show up and play. And then it turned into this. Just horrendous. And when you add that, you add the lack of priority to the line on both sides as a flaw in roster building, and then the full-on misses at a vaunted culture in Nate Davis and Chase Claypool. It's brutal, as well as holding on to Velus Jones as long as he did, and that entire evaluation. I remember going through the numbers, looking for all the punt returns in Velus Jones's 5-year college career. There were like 6 ever. And it included a fumble there. Punt returns at night, not once in his college football career. He was never trusted for that. And then he muffs punt returns at night. Like Corey Hart wears sunglasses and he has punt returns. But it just some horrendous things piling up here for Ryan Poles, as well as the big picture theory of how he does not seem to understand quarterback teaching and install.
Yeah. There's all of these things that have made it look worse. I don't know if anyone has suffered more damage to their reputation in a shorter period of time than Ryan Poles has.
I think you're right. It's amazing. When it came to the number 9 pick, I remember shows where, like Danny had said, I trust Ryan Poles. And a lot of people in this town were like, you know what? I trust Ryan Poles.
Yeah,
let's go.
People were.
A lot of people were in that spot of like, with the number 9 pick, I don't know what it is. Well, whatever he does, I think he's got a good idea. And I trust Ryan Poles.
And now you're revisiting that because what does this look like if not that we hate Rome, and we'll get into that at some point at another time. Like, we love Rome, but what you could have done with that position in the draft. It's just, and remember, this is the deepest that he had ever seen the offensive line room.
Let's go.